Can Zeke deke again? It's a coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Dallas Cowboys as they get set to square off against the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and our home team. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they can be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will grow. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Now a play fake here on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Yeah, the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
One of the things I like to do when I'm scouting players is talk to those who knew him before. And I ended up finding out that Amari Cooper has been like a professional route runner since the time he was 6 or 7 years old. Has always taken the game seriously, has always worked on his craft, and you see evidence of that each and every week on an NFL field. Couple that with his athletic ability, it's one big reason he's finding himself open in the NFL.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Davis will try to run for it, and he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So opening drive, 3 straight runs, unable to pick up the first.
I know the fans want to see first downs, but guess what? The coaches have reasons for what they're doing. Sometimes they've scripted it, and some of these runs, while they haven't been successful now, they may be successful later on.
On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at about the 14. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. It's the Mississippi State product at quarterback. Calling the shots will be Dak Prescott.
When he came out of college, I thought his best attribute was being able to break the pocket and make plays in the open field. But watching him develop over the years, you see a guy who can stand in the pocket and deliver excellent throws into tight windows.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Prescott now on second down. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's got room. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And there we see an early bird.
When we were watching film, you said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
First down throw for Prescott. And his throw here's incomplete. A look there at how the Raiders will start defensively. They find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Prescott. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. Prescott from the gun. Doxson with a grab over the middle. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, Prescott. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. In for the score. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now here come the Raiders. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Get down.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Get set. 180.
From the gun, it's Carr. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. A slot.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Get down.
Shotgun now for Carr. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try and get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And the Raiders have got him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
They go play action here on 1st down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Carr now on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. We'll look now at the starting 11 on defense for Dallas. They're a tough unit to throw against. Currently 4th toughest in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Down! 185!
Throwing his Carr on 3rd down. But he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. But instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And out now come the Cowboys. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Eddie Jackson with a tackle. So they'll give a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've hit the end of quarter 1. The Cowboys out in front early. EA Sports NFL Sunday return following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Prescott. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd down, Davis. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. A sizable gain there, 9 yards as they get it back to a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun. Carr to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the 1st down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. This is brought in at the 21. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And some room to run now. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, Get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw is Prescott. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. Prescott now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Charles Harris in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player of the year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. They'll run with White. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Brandon, with the last couple of plays for the offense not being good at all, my thought process as a coordinator, get the ball in the hands of my best player and see if I can salvage anything out of this drive.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. Now Prescott. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On 1st down, Carr. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like they can't beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now a handoff to Davis. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. From the gun, Carr. Looking deep here. And that's caught inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this, they were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. On play action, it's Carr. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Carr. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver Moore. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
To the right side to Eric Ebron. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And this is caught at the 8. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5.
Still 1st down.
And the situation changes a bit now. 1st and goal from back at the 10. Again, it's Carr. His throw incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. Throwing now is Carr. They'll set up the screen with Davis. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. A minute 58 to go in this first half of play. Back to the booth right after this. Reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. On the return, here's White. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to it.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They start on the ground with Elliott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big run that time by Elliott. 68 yards on the ground. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line. Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On third down, it's White, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. All right, so the timeout over, and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. Back to the air on second down. It's Carr. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to third down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
After the penalty, it's Davis. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. He's been terrific so far. Fielded at the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number one. First down, Prescott. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a give to Davis. And he'll get him a little space here up to the 5-yard line. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. Sterling Shepard, a touchdown reception. From there, it's a short trip in the Sunshine State down to Miami, as the Dolphins are at home as well. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting New England Patriots. Jamison Crowder, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. Lastly, we'll grab our passports and head down to Mexico City. See what's going on in the International Series. And things didn't work out for him as they fall to the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Carson Wentz, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In the game you're watching, you've seen a strong first half out of Dak Prescott. His guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Now White on a return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Second half starts with a carry by Elliott. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
On third down, Elliott. Reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. On second down, here's Carr. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Get set. You waiting?
On play action, now Carr. He's going to let this one go deep. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Gano the extra point, and that will tie things up at 13. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A quick throw, but incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Tenth carry now for Elliott. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On second down, Elliott. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 1st and 10, Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Ezekiel Elliott, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Zerline now for the PAT. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Get down, get down. We're waiting.
Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
You got one day, down. You're wide.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Again, it's Davis. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey. Down. We're waiting.
On the carry, it's Davis. And he stopped immediately there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with 3rd down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
On 3rd down, Davis. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. It was Maurice Hurst who got him down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brandon, more and more offenses are going to the philosophy of using every inch of the field to try and spread things out. And when your running back can catch the ball as well, that can only help your offense.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Prescott now. Escapes the sack. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And shutting him off now open field. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. Derek Carr getting ready to go again on offense. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today. Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
They keep it with Davis on 1st down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On the run, it's Davis. Finds a seam inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, But that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him. Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, Anderson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. Play action. Now it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
I know anytime you watch a team run the ball really well, there's some pinball effect, people bouncing off of each other. There's also some things of beauty in there when you see these nice, explosive, strong runs. And this guy, he knows how to carry the football really well and continually wants the football. Why? He knows the offensive line is going to give him great effort, and he gives great effort himself to finish off runs. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back live here now in Salt Lake City. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Raiders pick it up. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they bring what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. But bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Carr now on first down. Room here to run. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
180.
A first down carry for Davis. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Down. 180.
They'll run it again here with Davis. And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Down. 180.
On 3rd down, it's Davis. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Down. 280. Where's your head?
Now Carr, got to have this one. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. On the return, here's White. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
It's a keeper with Prescott, and able to follow his center and pick up the first. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the first down.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Prescott to throw this time. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left side. And the defense loses him. It's complete. They give him a gain of 38.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll run with Elliott, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. It's the fullback, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. Well, nothing complicated about that. That's old-school power football.
And effective. And that's the key to everything, right? Sometimes we try and do too many things. Just hand it to the big guy and let him go forward.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Zerline good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action, and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out. 5 yards on the catch there brings up 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. Now they go screen. It's complete. Davis fighting. He loses the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Down, 185.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Cooper was the intended target.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Well, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
A first down carry by Elliott. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They go to Elliott again. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. On third down. That's Elliott. He loses 5 full yards to bring up 4.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Zerline's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Carr. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. To throw is Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey, and they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They're in a good spot. 2-possession game barely, but a 2-possession game here late. Now they just have to put this game on ice.
Let's face it, right now, they're talking about ball security, taking care of it, not allowing anything crazy to happen, because we've seen nutty things happen down the stretch, but they also have the security of the scoreboard. With that type of a lead, even if something goes haywire, they're still in good shape.
Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Again, it's Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Prescott. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Raiders. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Now Carr. He's going to let it fly. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe when you look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Yeah, that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Carr to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. First down now, but the clock continues to move. And 26 seconds now as the spike comes in.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Switch. Monday, down.
Carr to throw again. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. And he clocks it with just 10 seconds left. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Down. 180.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone of the chalk of the 20. They go for it on fourth down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Cowboys, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long, everybody.